Om. Today, I was looking at Trump and I noticed a certain number in his life path. So I've been working on a case study for Trump. It's a big case study, which is showing Trump's symmetry of success. This is all using Chaldean numerology. How Trump's How Trump's success was predictable. How Trump's success was not a mistake. How he has certain potentials and essence, core knowledge and instincts and gifts that he was born with and brought into this life, reflected into key areas and prominent positions of his psyche, of what he's attracting naturally, of how he's perceived, of what he's focusing on. It's not a mistake the guy is so successful. This is a pattern I've been seeing as I'm studying millionaires, billionaires, and people who've had a huge impact on society. They have something I call success symmetry. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be dropping that soon, and that's going to be on my Substack. Check out the link in the description and the comments. Now, back to Trump. There's a number he's born. Okay, so his life path is a 31. His little life path is 13. The little life path is if you reduce his day, month, and year to their digit sums first and then add them. That's the little life path, and that has more of an influence on your day-to-day mundane. The big life path is when you add them together without reducing them first. So for example, he's born the 14th. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus his month, which I believe was 6, plus 6, and then plus 19. 46 is what year he was born. So you add all that together one at a time. 31-4 is what you get. What's interesting about 31-4 is that it's associated with delays in marriage. And so when I found that out, I got really curious about Trump, and I was like, let me go and look, as I do, because this is how I study. I hear something in the news or I see a video about a celebrity or prominent position, and then I'll go pull up their chart and start looking for it, and that's how I start seeing these patterns in symmetry. So here I go look up Trump, and in Chaldean numerology, they have also something called destiny rhythm. So the year that you're born, let's say, so Trump was born in his year was a 20. So he would start his life with a 2 destiny rhythm. That means the first 2 years is 2. After the number 2, it goes to, I believe, the destiny rhythm of 4. Then from 4 it goes to 8. From 8 it goes to 7. And from 7 it goes to 5. And from 5 it goes to 1. And then you restart the cycle. From 1 it goes back to 2. So all that to say, Trump's delay in marriage due to his life path of 31. Guess what age Trump was when he got married for the first time to Ivana Trump in 1977. Trump was 31 years old. Guess what destiny rhythm Trump was in? He was in his 4 destiny rhythm. 3 plus 1 is 4. At Trump's 31st year, in his 4 destiny rhythm, he got married for the very first time. Is 31, would you consider that a higher or below average of the marriage? I haven't looked it up exactly. My guess is the average marriage rate is going to be in the 20s. I think it's actually early 20s, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. I can guarantee you 31 is going to be a little bit of a delay. So 31 years old, his first marriage, 4 destiny rhythm. That marriage didn't last very long. But I'm going to be breaking this down in the case study coming up, where you can see why Trump, number 1, had success in politics. You can see why Trump reached the pinnacle of his success as a businessman. You can see why Trump was a real estate mogul, is a real estate mogul. Why he's been such a wealthy individual, and why he's able to attract crowds of people through his speech. How he's been able to gather almost like a religious type of devotional following and be able to manage and administer to that group of people. You can see why Trump's destiny has unfolded the way it does, and you can also see why Trump is having the health problems. You'll notice on July 17th, they announced Trump has an issue with his legs, and it's an issue where the veins are having a trouble returning the blood back to his heart. And I reveal why that is the case and how that is in his chart, and also the trajectory. Because it is simply said, Trump has certain numbers in his solar plexus which influences and governs the health of his lower body. And these numbers, which I'll be sharing in the case study, which is going to be released for free, even though it reveals probably a little bit too much information that you usually have to pay for in a course. It has numbers there that constrict energy. It controls it. It locks it down. Now, part of this is why Trump is such a warrior, why he's able to push himself so hard and stick it out to the bitter end, why he's able to fight against enemies and have success over them. Trump's one of the most sued men ever in the United States. I think he's got 4,000 cases sues against him, or however you say that formally. And there's reasons for that as well. He's got certain numbers that attract actual lawsuits and legal issues, which we'll be looking at as well. But that energy there is also connected to part of his destiny. So if you look at his destiny chart, which I reveal some of the calculations, how to calculate your destiny chart in the case study that I'll be releasing soon, he has a very interesting number there. So on the outer destiny, you can see why he's reached the pinnacle of success, why he's been the president. It's a number of rulers. It's a number specifically of governmental rulers and people who reach the pinnacle of success in business. And then he's supported with that, with an inner destiny number of getting favors and having really good success with the government. But the essence of that destiny, when these two are combined to create the essence, there's an interesting number there that is associated with humbling and loss and spiritual awakening. So the prediction that I kind of alluded to in a recent video about Trump, which is starting to bear fruit, which we're seeing now, is connected to that essence number and also the pyramid number of his full birth name, Donald John Trump, because it's still his legal name, which has a 17 at that pyramid. And if you see, when this announcement came out about Trump's health problems was on July 17th, because 17 is a spotlight number. And so what this number in his destiny chart, without revealing everything, it's connected to a health problem that you can see is reflected in his chart, which is how this humbling may or may not happen, is going to be one of two things, or both. A health problem that makes it so Trump can't do what he used to do, the way things he used to do. It forces him to slow down, or gives him some sort of loss of health, some sort of, I don't want to say disability, but it confines him. And or he's going to have some sort of loss, a family member, some sort of loss of a loved one. This is there, and this is connected to also his outer destiny. So some of the stuff about Trump is he's a great businessman, charismatic. There's a lot of talk that he may or may not have done some questionable things as part of his business practices. So, for example, a lot of the cases against him are people are talking about there's breach of contract, or he didn't pay what he's supposed to. Now, I like Trump personally, and are some people making up? Sure, but stands to reason there's some of that in there because there's potential for it. And the thing is, that karma is one of the way that karma is going to come back is through this. Now, the degree in which Trump's spirit, this is all being, why this is being done is not necessarily just for punishment. It's actually because part of Trump's destiny is for a spiritual awakening, part of a humbling of his ego, part of a softening of his ego in a way that forces a humbling. So we'll see what happens. I think we're already starting to see it now. But the degree in which that he embraces the spiritual awakening and he kind of relies on God, which, by the way, he's got enormous potential. He's got the 77 master number in his outer psyche, which is a number that, and when it's mastered, can give him incredible faith in the unseen, faith in the spiritual forces of nature. If he leans into that number, it is going to make this much, much better, because there is a potential. The way that this humbling would happen would be some sort of exposure, which is connected to the number 17, which is the number pyramid of his full name, which we got a little bit of a sign from the universe that this potential is behind why that announcement happened on the 17th. It's showing you, it's a preemptive, it's showing you a precursor to what may or may not happen, depending on how Trump manages himself. So, he may get exposed for doing some wrong. Let's just say that. Now, some of that's already been coming on, and we'll see what happens. But I personally think, my opinion is, I think Trump will pull through. I think he's going to, whether he wants to or not, there's going to be these health problems as part of what he's got going on in his body. Unless he was to, legally change his name and do some very other extreme things that seems very, very unlikely. Because a lot of it's coming from the name. And, amplifying imbalances from his essence chart, his birth chart. Unless he does that, but I think Trump will come through because I think Trump has the energy and the potential in his chart to really lean into a higher power. I know he's definitely involved in doing occult things, esoteric things, magic type of stuff, but I think there's a part of him who knows. We'll see what happens. Okay, this video got a lot longer than I had anticipated. If you like this video, give it a like, leave a comment below if you have any questions, and if you want to see certain celebrities, or if you want to put your full name and birthday, no promises, no guarantees, but I will take a look. That said, again, check out the description and comment for a link to my Substack, which is free to subscribe to. I have a personal subscriber chat. It's where I'm putting all my case studies, where you can learn about Chaldean numerology, which is the spiritual, the most powerful numerology, arguably the most accurate numerology as well, around people who've had a lot of success. And you're going to be able to look at those case studies and learn a lot about your numbers and people who are in your life about their numbers, what makes them tick, what's their potential like. Okay, enough said for now. I will see you in Substack when I release the case study and in the next video. God bless.